So hello and thank you for joining us this morning for this Access to HE information session. My name is Judith Mills and I'm the Programme Manager for Science and Maths at the college. So today we will cover aspects of what's involved overall in our Access courses and go into some detail about each of the different pathways. We will also touch on how we will be delivering these courses in September, as we are planning a blended approach to learning. So this morning we are being assisted by our colleagues Fiona and Jackie, who are manning our chat room. So during the presentation, if you have any questions, you can pop them in the chat box and they will answer them as we go along. At the end of the presentation, we will also be taking additional questions if you still have them. So what is Access to HE? Well, an Access to HE course prepares adults without traditional qualifications for study at university. You will be assessed throughout the course rather than sitting a final examination. An assessment is via a system of credits based on continuous assessment, and that includes assessment, for example, case studies, reports, essays, research projects, presentations, written tests, and vivas. We have different pathways at the college, and they include business studies, computing, computer science and digital industries, digital marketing and social media, humanities, health and human science, and humanities and social science. And we'll be giving more information about each of those later in the presentation. So why study at RHACC? Well, we have the class structure, small groups. Teaching is by industry specialists. There's individualized learning with regular targets and reviews. We have specialist university information advice and guidance. We have enrichment, which includes external visits, for example, to theatres, exhibitions, parliament, and university workshops. We also have internal events, such as lectures, networking events, music and drama shows, and class visits by professional specialists. RHACC's overall achievement rate on our Access courses were significantly above the national achievement for Access to HE courses. 77% of our learners achieved the grades they required to progress to the university they selected as their firm choice, which included meeting very challenging grade profiles. And learners progressed to universities including Goldsmiths, UCL, King's College London, Roehampton and Kingston, as well as others. Here's some examples of specific courses that learners progressed onto. At Goldsmiths included games programming, computer science, design, marketing management, business with finance. At University College London, history and philosophy of science, history, economics with business. King's College London, computer science, English with film studies, nursing studies, ancient history, business management. Roehampton, including degrees in mass communication, photography, psychology, history, business management and finance, and many others as well. The structure of an Access course. So Access to HE diplomas are made up of units of assessment that amount to 60 credits. Most units are for either 3 or 6 credits, and the qualifications 60 credits in total include 45 graded credits at level 3 that must be achieved from units that have academic subject content, and the remaining 15 credits are from study skills units. Subject-specific units, if you achieve them, will be graded either pass, merit, or distinction, and universities will make offers based on how many of each grade they want. So how many credits at pass, how many credits at merit, how many credits at distinction. And different universities will have different requirements. Here are some example university offers. So for computer science, at Goldsmiths, they wanted to pass the diploma with 45 level 3 credits, including 30 distinctions and a number of merits and passes in subject-specific modules. King's College on 36 credits at distinction and 9 credits at merit, no passes. And London South Bank University wanted 24 credits at distinction, 21 credits at merit, and no passes. So you can see that different universities do have different requirements. Another example comparing entry requirements for nursing, Kingston University, 21 credits at distinction, 18 credits at merit, and 6 credits at pass. Whereas London South Bank University, 15 credits at distinction, 30 credits at merit, and no passes. So the delivery model for 2020-21 obviously will depend on the government guidance, but in term 1, some sessions will be in college and some sessions will be online, and that will be reviewed for terms 2 and 3, depending on the latest government guidance. So the college is following government guidance closely to ensure safety of students and staff when we return to face-to-face teaching. And that will include having smaller class sizes, increased cleaning and new hygiene stations, managed entrances and exits to the campuses, spaced out workstations, the more online and blended options. Masks are optional and there will be more cleaning of equipment. So the entry requirements for access to HE diploma, RHACC, is GCSEs, including English language and maths at grade C or grade 4 minimum, or functional skills level 2 in English and maths, depending on the university. We'll come to that in a moment. And applicants will be required to have these in most cases, and most universities will require that as well. But what if you have overseas qualifications? Then you will need to have a NARIC translation of those overseas qualifications. You will also need to check with the universities you intend applying to if they will accept your overseas qualifications. Another common question, what if I'm applying for a humanities-based degree? Do I still need the maths qualification? Well, it depends on the university. Do you have it in writing from the university that you don't need maths? That's what you would need to find out. What if I have functional skills level 2 in English and maths, but not GCSEs? Well, it depends on the university. Some accept functional skills level 2 and some don't. You need to check with each university you intend applying to. What if I don't have the entry requirements? Can I do my GCSEs alongside the Access to HE course? No, you need to take your English and/or maths qualifications first. So what should I do before applying for an Access course? Well, first of all, you need to decide what you would like to study at university. and you need to check that you have the entry requirements, like the GCSEs or functional skills in English and maths. You need to check that the pathway you have chosen is accepted by the universities you would like to apply to. For example, this is one we commonly come across. To apply for radiography, not all universities will accept Health and Human Sciences pathway. If you have non-standard previous qualifications, i.e. not UK GCSEs, you need to check with the universities if they will accept your previous qualifications. You also need to make sure that you are ready to commit to full-time study. For example, do you have arrangements for childcare or other commitments that you have? You need to make sure that you have enough time per week to study outside of college classes. A minimum of 15 hours per week is required. You need to start researching which universities you would like to apply to. If your degree pathway requires it, you also need to arrange work or voluntary experience. You also need to consider how you will manage any remote delivery sessions. Do you have the facilities at home for online sessions? The first 5 weeks of the Access programme are a review period to find out if this is the right course at the right time at the right college for you. During week 5, you'll each have a progress review, and in the progress review, you'll be able to reflect on your confidence, progress, and ability on these topics, such as attendance, meeting work deadlines, development of academic writing, contribution in class, and the impact of any external commitments on your studies. At the end of this progress review, in discussion with the programme manager, an informed decision will be made on whether this is the right course at the right time at the right college for you. So what is the minimum attendance required? Well, it's 100% attendance and punctuality. And your attendance and punctuality will be reported on your UCAS reference. That's why it's important. So now we're going to go on and just a bit of information about each of the individual pathways. So for Health and Human Sciences, it's Mondays, Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 9:30 till 3:30. Within Health and Human Sciences, there are 3 pathways: generic pathway, physiotherapy, and midwifery and nursing. The Health and Human Sciences leads on to degrees including midwifery, nursing, physiotherapy, psychology, nutrition, sports science, occupational therapy, speech and language therapy, sports rehab, podiatry, and others. The modules on Health and Human Sciences include anatomy and physiology, science, nutrition, sports injuries, the role of the health or social care professional, English, maths, and session for applying to UCAS. If you would like to book an interview for this pathway, you go to the link there on the slide, and then you can book a session for an interview, and you'll be sent information about what you need to do for that approximately 1 week before the interview date. I'm now going to hand over to my colleague Soraya, who will talk about the business pathway.
Soraya, you're muted. Could you unmute, please, and start again? Thank you.
Sorry, thank you. Hello. So thank you very much, Judith. The business studies pathway will lead you to register to apply to courses on universities into different areas of business. We're going to look at that at those in a minute. Next year we're going to run it on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays. Monday and Tuesday will be full days, and Wednesday will be only half day between 10 and 1. However, obviously that will be delivered online at least for the first part of the year, and perhaps from January onwards we're gonna create some solutions of blended learning, and you will be expected to come to class physically to the college, but this is something that will be reviewed during the year, like I said. So degrees that you can apply once you complete your access course. Any kind of degree that has business related to the business area. So there is quite a wide range of degrees around. Some of the most common are business management, business with finance, or business finance, or finance with business as well, and then depend the degrees of finance and business in the specific courses offered from the different universities. Marketing, any course in marketing, including the very popular, very interesting for many of our students in the past years in fashion buying and merchandising, international business, economics with business, etc., etc. So the modules that we deliver during the year are, they tend to cover the different areas of business and tend to give you kind of a thorough and solid foundation in the different aspects. So we have modules in management, which include business planning, processes to make decisions, and how to plan in the short, medium, and long term. They include modules in marketing, necessarily. They include modules in leadership and developing the people skills that are needed in order to be good managers, and modules that focus more on the legal aspects of organization, modules that focus on the legal aspect of managing employees and human resources in general, and so on. And obviously there are a series of modules in study skills that need to be covered, and will give you a thorough foundation in the ability to write at academic level proficiently and confidently. So if you are interested, please apply online, and we will invite you for an interview where we will have the opportunity to test your readiness for this course, because like Judith was saying, it is a quite demanding course and we do have some entry requirements that need to be satisfied. But also you will have an interview and we will have the opportunity to have a more personal conversation about the course and how it can benefit you and how you can actually fit that into your wider career plans. Thank you very much. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer to that.
So I will take the questions at the end, if that's okay.
Okay, yes.
And we'll just hand over to Manoj now, who's going to talk about computer science. Okay.
So I will hand over to Manoj, to my colleague. He will talk to you about the pathways access that he manages, and if anybody has any other question, we can answer to that at the end of this webinar. Thank you.
Thank you. Right, so just talking about the computing pathway, and we've got two strands of computing pathway. This is the first one, again offered on Monday and Tuesday at these hours between 10 and 5:30. The course will be offered entirely online and will provide progression onto degrees including computer science, games development, networking, AI, robotics, software engineering, digital media, web development and e-business. Those are the kind of degrees students have gone on to in the past. And our content is really to give you a very broad coverage of the computing subject, not really specialising too early. So you've got a range of stuff you can do, and this can to some extent inform your degree choice, or maybe take you into a university degree which is very similar. Computer science, for example, is a very broad degree which has a lot of wide content. So we cover a bit of hardware and software, networks, programming and coding, website design, creation and development, games development, visual programming, making video, spreadsheets and databases, word processing, with some English and maths, and obviously some support to help you with UCAS applications too. To book an interview, there's a little web link there, which you could click on if it's available, this presentation is available to you afterwards, or if you could do a search just for IT advice on the college website, and that's how you book interviews with us to discuss these things further. To my next slide. The other pathway is the more modern computer science digital industries pathway, and this one starts actually in November, and it's 3 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday from 10 till 4. And it's a slightly more updated curriculum where we've included subjects such as cybersecurity, games development, computer networking as part of this course too, and with the degree options are opened up to slightly wider opportunities. So you've got things like AI, robotics, and software engineering there. The modules we're going to cover include subjects such as mobile apps, robotics, cybersecurity, data design, data science is a big part of this course, and another games development module there, which is a bit longer, but also 15 maths at level 3 to give effectively an A-level maths equivalency. So the way to book on a course like this, again, is the same way. We've got a link here that you click on, and that will take you to the advice and guidance page where you can book an online interview. Now, finally, for me, the digital marketing pathway. This is at the end of the week. This is Thursdays and Fridays, 9:30 till 4. Again, this is an entirely online course, and this will lead on to degrees including digital marketing, media, PR communication, social media, web design development, enterprise entrepreneurship, e-business of any kind of form. Some students have gone on to main business pathways also, and media technology. The modules we cover include business communication, management. We do digital marketing, this is both metrics, analytics, web design, imaging. We do multimedia authoring, search engine optimization, social media technologies and communication, marketing concepts with strategy, research and planning. Of course, there's an English and maths element with this course, and we also give support with applying to university with UCAS again, and a similar approach then to book on your an interview with us to talk to myself and take these things further. Okay, that's the end of my particular presentation. On to my next colleague, which is the Humanities Pathway with Ian McGarvey. Thank you.
Yes, hello. Hello, I'm Ian McGarvey. I'm the Programme Manager for the Pathway. We currently have around 12 learners on our course, which is a typical amount of recruitment. So we have quite a small group. So we believe that really helps with our individual planning and learning. The current situation, obviously, we're now delivering entirely online. We probably will continue that, but if possible, we will have some sessions on site, depending on the state of the situation in October. We run 2 full days, and with the course being divided into 3 sections, English, history and law, 3 of the 4 sessions are subject specific. So, for example, Tuesday you'll do history with me and literature in the afternoon. And then on Wednesday you'll do law in the morning and a study skills and tutorial based classes in the afternoon. In terms of the structure of the course, we try to present a broad curriculum. Some humanities courses are very sort of specific to one area, but we feel that it offers opportunities for more students to progress onto wider degree paths. So obviously, you know, in English, history and law, but there are many other opportunities. Some of our learners go into journalism courses, creative writing courses, philosophy, and we're finding that, you know, many of our learners are progressing into universities in London, such as UCL and King's, quite common progression. Many progress onto local universities, Kingston, Roehampton, and even some go wider afield. So all learners that complete the course tend to progress onto universities of their choice. We discuss these progression very early in the course so you can recognise what targets you may require, what grade profiles is what Judith explained earlier. So you're aware very early in the course what level of attainment you would need to achieve to progress to where you want to go. The course assessment is principally essays and written reports in law, for example, and we cover a range of disciplines within the course. Many of the units are skills based in history, such as sources, looking at competing interpretations in history. English, you look at poetry, you look at novels. So there's a huge range of different elements within the course. The final thing I'd say is in the course, all of you will have to undertake an extended project in an area of your own research, which is challenging, but it's very good preparation for university. I've put a link at the bottom with an email to our administration, which it says art at RHACC. This is the department email, and we'll go through to our administrator. So you can apply online, which then triggers an interview process. We will be setting up interviews very shortly. So if you have applied already, you know, we will be in touch. I have been in touch with people so far. But if you want further information, email that art@RHACC and that'll come to me. And we can discuss your needs. Okay, thank you.
Hello, I'm Graham Tharp. I'm Head of Women's Education at the college. I'm going to talk to you about the Humanities and Social Sciences pathway that we offer. This kind of follows on from what Ian was just saying about the Humanities course that's run at the Parkshot site, actually online at the moment. Actually is a women-only course, the Humanities and Social Sciences pathway. There is a residential option possible depending on circumstances. Obviously, again, that's a little bit up in the air at the moment, but we are a residential college. As others have said, we will be starting with 75% online delivery with 25% face-to-face, and the face-to-face will concentrate on things like tutorials, so there is some face-to-face interaction. We get to know you. Again, with many of the other courses, we run Monday to Wednesday with full days on Mondays, Tuesdays, and half a day on Wednesday. But importantly, as Judith pointed out earlier on, the importance for you to remember that you need to put aside at least 15 hours a week, because these are very intensive and rewarding courses. Our course provides broad opportunities for you to move forward onto a range of different university courses. The obvious ones would be things like English and history, because they're all part of the major curriculum. Criminology is another popular subject area at the moment. Social work, psychology, and international relations also. So the main modules are English, psychology, history and sociology. And within those 4 main subject areas, some of the things that studies, for example, the units would look at short fiction and studying a novel in English. In psychology, we cover attachment theory and social psychology. In history, some of the topics that have been covered are female emancipation and the history of immigration. And within sociology, topics such as crime and deviance and prejudice and discrimination. If you're interested in joining us, bearing in mind what we've talked about, your pathways and entry requirements, the course code is there. You can apply directly online, or you can email myself and you can see the email link there. But thank you very much for joining us today. We hope we've been able to cover a lot and give you a lot of information about the Access course. If you do, we do obviously provide information, advice and guidance about funding for the course. A lot of this will be through the Adult Learning Loan. But of course, we'll discuss that with you. There is an email link there if you wanted to have a look, and a website link to have a look about the fees, and also a link for marketing. So I think we're here for a few minutes to follow up on any questions you may have.
Thanks, everybody. That was a great presentation. We have had some questions coming through. One that I thought was quite an interesting one, perhaps Judith might be able to answer, is can you study for your GCSE maths at the same time as doing your Access?
No, unfortunately not. It's too much work, and people who've done that in the past have been unsuccessful on all their courses. So it's an entry requirement. Unless you're doing a humanities-based degree, when the university doesn't require maths, then you need your maths GCSE before doing your Access course.
So you'd recommend that they enrol on the GCSE in September and then start preparing for the Access course
Yes.
the following year?
Yes.
Great, thank you. We've got another question for you, Judith. What percentage of the Health and Human Sciences course will be online?
That's still something that we're trying to work out at the moment. It will be at least 1 day a week.
Will we notify people once we've clarified the situation? Okay, if anybody wants to leave me their email addresses on the chat in the private box, then we can make sure we get back to you directly. Could anybody talk about funding and how that works?
Hello, I could do that if you. Yeah, hi. The funding of the course is based on two factors. The first is if you haven't achieved what is referred to as a full level 3, which means A levels or equivalent, and you're under 24, you will not have to pay a fee. This is subject to the funding criteria. If you have achieved A levels and you're under 23, you will then have to take out what's called an adult learning loan. If you're over 23, you would have to take out this adult learning loan anyway. Now, these aren't our rules, they're rules that which the college has to adhere to. The adult learning loan will cover your fees, and the positive aspect of it is when you graduate, if in the future this part of your learning account will be removed, so the fees are actually removed off your account. So I hope that answers it in a nutshell.
Thank you, Ian. We've also got another question for Judith. For the Access to Health and Human Science interview process, do you want the debate handwritten or can it be typed?
It can be either.
Okay, thank you. Anybody got any other questions? We are going to be here for another few minutes if you want to quickly whiz them over. If you want anybody to contact you directly, please just pop your email on the chat and we will follow up with you afterwards. Just something I wanted to add, if that's okay, Ian, to what you mentioned around the funding. When you take out your adult loan for the Access course and then go on to complete a full degree, then at the moment that part of the loan will be completely written off once you complete your degree. So it's also worth knowing that that's not going to be an extra loan for you to bear the costs of. Okay, any more questions? Okay, I'm going to pop some emails onto the main chat just so you've got some email contact details, and thank the team. Thanks very much everybody for a really detailed overview of our Access courses. We're probably one of the only colleges where you are learning in an adult only environment, and we are specialists in teaching adults, and I think that's what makes doing an Access course at RHACC so very different and very personal. I'll send some details on the chat, and thanks everybody for attending today. Sorry, one more question. Somebody has an interview next week and they want to know what platform it will be on. Will it be Teams, and how long is it expected to last?
It will be on Teams. I've already sent the link to this particular learner, and it'll be anything between like 15 to 30 minutes, depending on how much we need to discuss.
Great, thank you. Okay, last shout out for any more questions before we end the session. Okay, thanks very much everybody, and thanks team. Bye-bye.